Hey everybody, today is June 9th, 2023. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
And you're hanging with Uncle.
The microphone is over there.
Man, I did it again.
Hopefully y'all heard us. What's going on?
I got a big mouth.
I mean, it happens. We're having a good time. It's been Good Friday today, everybody. I hope you're having a good day.
You know, we've been celebrating. It's been another indictment party over here, you know, at Hanging with Uncle. So
he did the reverse karma juju on it. You know, that's what he did. He got that on Wednesdays and it won't happen for a while, which it still really won't happen for a while because there's process to it and everything. Of course, our justice system takes a while. I complain about it a lot. But yes, he officially is indicted.
He is, at 37 counts.
The first U.S. president ever.
Federal. So now he's been indicted in the state of New York on criminal charges, and now he is federally indicted on 37 counts violating, federal law and statute. But before we jump into that, please, if you have not already, hit that subscribe button and click that like button. And we're trying to grow our channel, and that really helps us out.
And hit the notification bell if you ever want to see whenever we go live in the future or whenever we post content when we get to that point of figuring out how to post bonus content.
Yes. So pass that over here, man, because we're celebrating.
Oh, you hitting this?
Yes.
Yes. So, yes, celebration hits around or drinks around. Hopefully, again, having a good weekend. Get ready for a good weekend because we've got a good one coming up.
And what's this one called?
This is called Slurricane.
Slurricane. Okay.
We be slurring.
Man.
Slurricane.
Here we go.
Anyway, so yeah, we're going to continue talking about the indictment for while Gene's hitting this thing. Getting his celebration on because it's a good thing. I mean, it not necessarily like yay someone's going to jail, woo, or whatever charges, but like if we have to make sure our justice system is still intact because we have some weird conversations to talk about today, which I really hope that stays strong because man, we need things caught up quick. The guy who went out and presented the information that came out of the envelope, I watched it actually. He talked about how he wants it to be a swift
Jack Smith.
thing. Yes, Jack Smith, thank you. He wanted it to be a swift process. I want it to be a swift process because I'm fucking done with it. Thank you.
Well, I tell you what, man. I mean, and we will talk about this, but here's the interesting part to me out of all this. Judges are randomly selected for these cases. It's like... say you're playing Wheel of Fortune and you spin the wheel and where it stops, that's who your judge is, right? And we're all familiar with Aileen Cannon, the judge who asserted herself in jurisdiction when the Department of Justice was investigating these documents, and she wanted to take control of that and appoint a special master, Raymond Deary, and basically she had no authority to do so. The Court of Appeals smacked her down, told her to fix it. And that's the judge who got the case. So we have a judge that has already shown bias toward Cadet Bone Spurs, and that's where the case is headed.
What an American tale.
But there's hope.
Okay.
There is hope.
There is hope.
Yes.
I'm excited. Okay.
Because she has shown bias in this case in a previous matter. If she were to act ethically, she would recuse herself from the case. If she chooses to continue to act like Trump's lackey and stay on the case and not recuse herself, there's this thing called United States versus Martin. And that allows the Department of Justice to bring a motion to have her recused because of her prior actions.
And you're damn sure they're going to do that.
And they will. You know what? I would say the way they've been acting so far, there's a good chance that Justice Cannon will not be the judge overhearing this case.
I mean, if it's not this one, it's the next one about him obstructing. What's it called? Obstructing our process. Our Constitution. So that's what the other investigation is about too.
So well, here's the thing. So I mean, in the documents case, and And again, you can turn on the news and hear all this. But,
all over the place.
Right, but in the documents case, God, where was I going with this?
I have no idea, man. Sorry, I'm trying to be too loud.
Memory eraser.
You were talking about Lee Martin. Or Martin?
U.S. versus Martin.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Basically, that allows the Justice Department to recuse Justice Cannon.
Mm. Okay, and then I brought up that there's another investigation about him.
Yeah, that one. That's right. That one won't be in Florida, so we won't have to worry about Justice Cannon because the other ones will be regarding January 6th. But in all these cases, there are obstruction charges because he's refusing to cooperate.
Got him back on the rails.
Yeah,
you see that?
Thanks.
It took a lot of effort, man.
Wow.
I had to come recollect.
Okay. I think I'm done celebrating.
The ADHD doesn't help me much sometimes. That's how I recall that shit. But no, I got you. Yeah, especially that. Like, so there's two different trials, two different cases. There's two different things going on about this. So
don't forget about Georgia. There's
true. Yeah, there's so more. Oh, fuck. It's not going to end soon.
It really won't. But again, we already know that the New York case trial is set for March of next year.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea when this case will be set for trial.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea when the other indictments will come down from Georgia or from the January 6th riot investigation. But that's just where we are right now. Again, I still say take a vacation. And see, look, you exhale. You don't expect it. Something happens. It's like Christmas. You get a windfall. Something good happens when you least expect it.
True. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I like how you brought it up on Wednesday. It won't be not much time, whatever. And then next day. Next day, man. That's insane.
I love being wrong sometimes.
True. So then we got some, this is a long topic. This is a big one, so buckle up.
Yeah.
It starts with, I think you want to start with this one, Gene. It starts with American history, I guess.
It really does, man. So, San Francisco again has kind of like been a trailblazer for the LGBTQ community and has been forever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to get my facts wrong, but Harvey Milk. Led the charge. He was like a very big activist in that regard, and I believe he ran for and was elected mayor of San Francisco.
Mayor, okay.
And he was very, progressive in his thinking, very pro LGBT community, very inclusive in his thinking. Brought San Francisco a long way into the future, with his progressive kind of thinking. And they murdered him for that. Heaven forbid we have like a homosexual in our government running our town and our city and blah, blah, blah. And just the hatred.
And improve things and just kill them.
Right. Wow. And they did a movie on this. Sean Penn plays Harvey Milk. I'm probably butchering the whole story. But I mean, if you don't want to read the book, there's a movie. Basically...
The book.
The book was banned from our educational system, teaching our kids basically how to fight for your rights and how to defend yourself. Just because those rights happen to be LGBTQ, oh my God, they want to act like, the earth's opening up and how to be gay. The demons are all being unleashed from hell.
It's teaching them how to support themselves and be gay. No, that whole deal is... We're going to talk more about it. It's hard to talk about because there's a line here. It's not like we're playing with, like, trying to be politically correct and incorrect, but it's more of like we're taking away American history because people don't like something.
Right.
Now, if you were to take Rosa Parks' books out of the school, I'd feel bad about some reason.
They did that in Florida. Ron DeSatan did that.
Exactly that. So I think these people should feel wronged. about this book being taken because it does teach about history, and it's a part of their history.
It's something that happened. This guy did this. He made these changes. This is who he was. You cannot erase his accomplishments and achievements and efforts from history. It's just not going to happen, no matter how hard you try.
Right, and then, I mean, removing the book, like, it's like a book burning thing, like this whole witch hunt.
It's censorship.
It is. It's censorship. Now, books are freedom of speech, but it seems like the people who preach freedom of speech want to take away people's speech about how they feel, I guess. You're not allowed to talk about that or be that way in particular places.
Here's the hypocrisy of all that, right? Remember when Cadet Bone Spurs got banned from Twitter? And the whole uproar on the right was, oh my God, censorship, censorship. Well, number one, no, it's not censorship. It's Jack Dorsey who owns his company. It's his money. It's his private business. It's like any sign you go into, we reserve the right to refuse service to anyone. And that ignorant son of a bitch got refused. It's not censorship. It's censorship when government, any form of government, steps in to do what it's doing by removing Rosa Parks' books from the shelf. That's censorship. Removing Harvey Milk's book from the shelves. That's censorship.
Which, again, it's American history.
Yes.
You're removing history from education from children.
We are making our kids less smart by taking this information from them.
We are. So then now, there's more about this story. With the book being banned, there are people who feel wronged about that. And the people who felt wronged about that decided to protest outside of the school board meeting. Outside of the time of school being around children, because it said it was around 6 p.m. later in the day. No children around. School's not happening right now. Summertime. Anyways. So no children around. People felt wronged and upset and decided to go anti-protest their protest about the book removal. So the whole fucking domino effect, of course, turned into a big fight, a big brawl. Around 200 people I saw were involved, I believe. And it's a whole fucking mess. Whole fucking mess. Like, the people who felt wronged were in the right to protest where they're allowed to protest. It's an American right to be able to protest, correct, Gene?
Correct. First Amendment, freedom of assembly.
Now, with these people doing the thing that they're allowed to, and with it being mostly peaceful, if you read any article that says the protest was mostly peaceful throughout most of the day, until and then the Fire Nation attacked.
Right.
So here comes the anti. They come in, big brawl, of course, and it's just now these people are upset because they want this stuff away from children. There were no children around in this situation at all. None, because it was a school board meeting. Why are these kids at a school board meeting if they're there? And second, it's just, it seems like our U.S. government, our world is reacting with violence in general. Violence is the answer, but it's not the answer. It just puts your ass in jail.
But, there's a common theme. There's a common thread here of banning books like Rosa Parks and Harvey Milk and Dr. King and so forth. The common theme of all those activists, how to peacefully stand up and protest for yourself and
their rights
and make a change, for the betterment of yourself and your community and for society. They don't want our kids learning that. And that is the whole purpose for them censoring what books are on the shelves in our school.
Now, I learned about it in school.
So did I.
I mean, they say it. They're like, yep, there's gay stuff too. If you're interested in that, you can check out this, blah, 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 or check it out online, have a discussion with your parents, which should be the right thing to do. Now, again, this book, is not teaching children about it. It's teaching them about, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher the name again. The book, Harvey
Milk.
Harvey Milk, thank you. It's teaching them about Harvey Milk, which is also teaching them, if you were to say the Rosa Parks reference, it's teaching about Rosa Parks and what she did. It ain't teaching about being black. I learned about that through being me.
Because they both were standing up for themselves.
They're doing their own selves, doing their own thing, and without anything that they have done, it probably would have been, the world would be a worse place where we are right now. Right? So they're basically, what do you call them? There's a matriarch? Is it a matriarch? No.
Martyrs.
Martyr, thank you. A martyr. They're martyrs. What is a matriarch?
So a matriarch is like a woman head of the family, and a patriarch is a man head of the family.
Gotcha. Okay. What you just said, I lost it already. I'm not stoned.
Martyr.
Martyr. So they're basically martyrs of U.S. history because it is, again, history. Now, with that, it's not the end of the story. We still have to continue talking about the same story here. Because it's trickled into media now, where people are labeling this as a groomer mentality. When where is there any grooming when it's talking about a person who stood up for themselves in history?
So this is what I see, and again, a common tactic used by the right. Mm-hmm. Okay, and I think Colin Kaepernick is a great example of this. Okay. Colin Kaepernick took a knee to protest police brutality. Mm-hmm. But if you listen to the right, they don't want to listen to that. They don't want to hear that. They just want to push the narrative. Colin Kaepernick took a knee to disrespect the flag. Mm-hmm. And that's the only thing they want to push. They're totally taking it out of context, pushing some other misinformation and lie instead of trying to understand where somebody else is coming from and being on the same page and going from that. So that's what this is like to me. And when I hear that kind of stupidity, it just reminds me of the misinformation about Colin Kaepernick.
Absolutely. And then it's just that's what's going on media. Now, moving on to a new story, which is connected to that story, which is why we started with that original story about the fight to begin with. Online stuff and drama. Call of Duty removed a bundle off of a store where you can get skins and stuff, whatever, that represented a streamer. Now, why did they remove it? Because underneath a comment about prior story, he left, they should leave little children alone. That's the real issue. Call of Duty didn't agree with that, so they pulled the plug on his product. Now, again, that's that incorrect mentality. It's not a groomer thing that's happening around children. Like, if he's being more direct, like, about leaving the protests and stuff away from children, like, I can be all for that, sure. Like, yeah, protests about that around kids, like, yeah, let the kids be kids, it'll distract them from school, but it didn't happen during school.
You know a good example of what a groomer is? A pimp.
Yes.
That's what a groomer is.
They took young women, raised them. Yeah, exactly that, yeah. So it's like, I'm not understanding where this is coming from. Now, if it's B, where I said it's keep the protests and stuff and whatever away from children, let them discover things on their own and be themselves, talk with their parents, stick with leadership, I'm all for that. That's literally what I want in the perfect society of ours. Everyone to be accepted. You learn in your household. If a kid feels some way, it's accepted, even by a straight couple of parents, even by a gay couple of parents. If the kid feels that way, they need to be accepted. Teach them about their stuff that they need to learn about with their parents, and then learn how to control your hormones around people. And that's kind of how it's supposed to be, because that's how I was learned, or taught. It's like, hey, you're going to have feelings. If you have these feelings, this is how you feel towards this. And then if you feel some kind of way, let us know and talk with us about it. I feel like that's probably the most healthy way to do it, because that's how I was raised, right?
Be kind to one another. Don't do any harm.
It's not a groomer mentality where they're pushing it on children for them to go and be gay. It's not. It's teaching them about history. Again, Rosa Parks' books is not teaching kids how to be black. It's teaching them about black history, which is people are upset about still, apparently. But that's old shit. Again, it's the same premise here. Allow history to be history in America. Stop trying to erase it. And so with Nick's comments here, They removed his bundle off of the store. That's how, again, if you're sponsored by something, don't speak against something that they don't agree with or that they agree with, because then they'll obviously pull the plug. But we've seen that happen thousands of times. Like, it's obviously that companies have their own power to do that because...
Yeah, you got to read the room.
Yeah, not necessarily read the room, but understand the rules. Like, like I'm going to be sponsored by, like, I don't know, like anything, like Starbucks, and then go talk about, Dunkin' Donuts is so much better anyways, blah, 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 blah. You think Starbucks is going to like that? No!
Right.
Like, it's like they're going to pull the plug.
Right.
Like, if you don't agree with what you're sponsored by, then they're obviously not going to vibe with you. So they removed it. I mean, that's simple as that, and that's what happened. But then there's that, again, the dumbasses out there who are doing, you're a groomer, and this, that, and the third. Where is this, again? Grooming children.
They don't know what they're... again, to me, when I hear somebody talking about...
It's a deflection.
You want to keep Harvey Milk's book in the library, doesn't make you a groomer.
No. The school already supports Pride Month, by the way.
I look at it, when I hear somebody call somebody a groomer, I look at him like, you're a dumbass. Just like when I hear somebody say, oh, you're woke. Mm-hmm. You're a dumbass. You have no idea what you're talking about. You're just spewing off your a mime or a mimic, just spouting off the same thing you heard somebody else say, not knowing what it means, and you can't have an intelligent conversation with somebody stupid, and that's what they are, because that's all they'll keep saying is, no matter how many times you explain, that's not what a groomer is. You're a groomer. They're idiots, man.
It's literally the case. So, I don't know. Let us know how you guys feel about that one, because it was a long story, but I feel like we kind of connected them together to where it was digestible. But you have to understand, the world's moving forward, regardless of how you feel about what. But honestly, no one gives a crap about how you feel. Feel the way you feel, and that's it. Move on. Let people be people.
I celebrate Lee Fink. Transgender woman got Woman of the Year by USA Today. People are acting stupid because it's a trans person taking away something from a woman. Number one, USA Today is privately owned. They can do whatever they want with their money. They can award whoever they want with their money. It's nobody's business. Shut up. If that's who they want to make Woman of the Year, then that's who they want to make Woman of the Year. It's their business.
That's what happens when you make companies people too, huh?
Y'all ask for it.
Around on your asses. If you don't like it, stop making companies people. We'll start with that shit. Anyways, let's get on our dumbasses of the week, because I'm tired of talking about this one.
Yeah.
Did you want to go?
Sure.
Yeah? Go ahead.
So, I have a collective dumbass of the week. Because, again, part of the January 6th investigation is the big scam. The wire fraud, begging people for money for my legal defense fund that didn't exist. And he raised over $250 million for a legal defense fund that didn't exist. He put it in his pocket and gave it to his cronies. His old chief of staff, Mark Meadows, got like $2 million of it. So anybody that thinks that, Cadet Bone Spurs is a victim here and wants to send them their money for his defense, you're a dumbass. You're stupid. A fool and his money are soon parting. And if you give money to that ignorant ass, you are a dumbass, because you may as well, take your money and throw it in the fireplace. It'll do just as much good, and you'll stay warmer.
How cool is that? This guy gave Donald Trump money.
The richest man who keeps saying, I don't need your money. I don't need your money. I'm rich. You can't buy me. But send me your money for my legal defense.
Right. Oh, fuck.
So if you're stupid enough to send money to Cadet Bone Spurs, remember, we have Swampland on the moon for sale, cash only.
Hey, they like that.
I'm going to keep it simple. Those are my dumbass. That's my dumbass, is all you ignorant people that want to keep giving this moron your money.
No. Mine's more of a pop culture-y one, but recently, my dumbass of the week is Twitch. If you don't know what Twitch is a streaming service where it's one of the most popular streaming services. Not as big as YouTube, not quite, but it's a pretty big platform. Now, they're trying to build that core structure still of what a streamer will be, not the economy necessarily, but like how contracts are and like sponsors and such like that. Now, Twitch released a new policy to where they will only allow 3% of the screen to be ads. 3%! Or is it? Yeah, it's 3%. So, 3? Oh, dang, I did do it wrong. I'm trying to get my sign language right. 3%. Anyways, that's not enough, obviously. And they're removing other sources of advertisement and revenue for the streamers. Now, Asmongold, he moves fucking earth when he speaks about topics.
Yes.
The man spoke out and said he would be exploring other contracts and other platforms if that policy went through. And I promise you, within the hour, Twitch backpedaled like a bitch.
Yeah. They even tried to get on Mr. Beast.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mr. Beast said, I'm just going to stream and protest against Twitch and go to Kick instead. Or just from YouTube. Where do I go?
Yeah.
Because he has such a massive following. He streams something, it'll blow up, for sure. He hasn't done it in a long time, but I'm sure he will at some point. But there are plenty of threats. Phil DeFranco was upset about it. Even if he's not on Twitch, he was mad about the issue. He said if YouTube ever did it to him, he would
be gone.
He would shit bricks.
Yeah.
But they backpedaled on it. They're going to rethink. They said they didn't express it correctly. That's how they put it. But Twitch, you're dumbasses because you don't understand how your platform works. And let us express this to you real quick. Without your streamers, you have no content. Again, without your streamers, you have no content. If your streamers aren't making money and you're not paying them the money they want, are they going to stay? Obviously not. Especially when there are people who are making $1 million contracts at Kick as we speak, because they're through stake.com, which is the betting site, by the way.
Yeah.
And that's who supports it. Now, they have their own drama going on with their streamers, by the way, though. Some fucking ignorant sons of bitches on that motherfucker, we tell you. And they don't have much restrictions, but they're working on their platform. Hopefully it gets better so I can actually go to it and support it. But their big names were threatening to go somewhere else just because of that.
If they go through it this, I got 2 words for Twitch. Mm-hmm. Chapter 11.
Now, competition's healthy for a space, though. With Kick being around, with YouTube having a streaming service, and seeing how these deals are being made, it will probably kick Twitch in the pants and have them start doing things correctly and supporting streamers the way they need to. But for right now, they're being dumb. So they got my dumbass of the week. Hey, that's kind of it. We had a good show. I hope it was a good show.
And next week, you have plans. You're not going to be with us.
Yes,
next week.
I will not be here next week. I will be on vacation. I'm actually going on a vacation. I'm going somewhere.
Deserved.
I'm going camping with my family. I'll be out in the wilderness celebrating and having a wonderful time in the cool, brisk air of Prescott.
Nice, man.
So,
you guys have fun.
Yeah, man.
And enjoy it. And we look forward to your safe return, man. Hope you don't get eaten by a cocaine bear.
That's the way to go out.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for this week.
I think actually Payson, not Preston. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm Zane.
I'm Gene.
And it's been Hanging with Uncle.
And I'll see you next week.
I'll see you soon.
All right.